In today's episode, we're going to be talking about WALL-E. While I continue building a castle in our Minecraft world, I did use a tutorial for the castle. Its link will be in the description below. Spoilers ahead. This was a very hard movie for me to review. I love this movie, but it's hard to write a script on a movie that has 17 lines of dialogue. But I think that's what makes WALL-E so unique. There is no spoken dialogue for the first 20 minutes of the movie, aside the B&L recordings and the song Put On Your Sunday Clothes. However, WALL-E and his cockroach friend have so much character depth even though they just make noises. Speaking of which, the sound design of this movie, perfect. In a world with little to no words, it makes sense that the sounds had to be perfect. Andrew Stanton, the director of WALL-E, brought aboard Ben Burtt, who is the man behind Star Wars sound effects. Ben used old Disney machines as well as making his own unorthodox instruments to create the world you see in WALL-E. I think Andrew has a great point, that if a wordless world doesn't have grand sound effects, it will fall apart. And I can solidly say,
it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Thank you, Homelander. I'm sure you could find the full 20-ish minute documentary on the sound design somewhere. It's pretty good. WALL-E is a mobile trash compacting unit whose only job is to gather trash into massive skyscrapers. There were others like him, but due to their lack of self-preservation, have all passed on. Self-preservation is one of the things that sets WALL-E apart. If his treads are worn down, he replaces them. If his battery gets low, he goes into the sun to charge. If he gets launched into the side of a home at Mach speed by a spinning robot and damages his eyepiece, he replaces it. WALL-E is also curious about everything. He sees tons of junk throughout the day, but if and when he sees something special like a ring box, a frisbee, or even a spork, he holds on to it. WALL-E recognizes the treasure amongst all the trash. One of these treasures is a plant. Earth in the year 2815 AD is bland. The only color he sees is brown. Even the colorful holographic displays are boring, the hardware has been jaded, and the reds and blues have dulled. WALL-E recognizes that this plant is different. It comes from the ground, has a vibrant green color, and it moves unlike the trash he's surrounded by 24/7. But WALL-E doesn't quite understand its significance just yet. That is until he meets Eve. We first meet Eve in Great Terror. A funny red dot that can't be picked up quickly moves around the surface of the Earth until it stops, and then a rocket flies down, creating an honest reaction from WALL-E. Similarly to the plant, Eve is different. She's clean and white. She flies around, scanning everything around her, and does it with new technology and streamlined sound effects. All of these traits are non-existent in WALL-E's usual world. She's obviously different, and he finds that attractive. He wants to show Eve what's special to him, his light bulb, VHS tapes, bubble wrap, and dancing. And even though she doesn't quite understand what's so special about all this stuff, she slowly learns throughout the film that some things go past programming. Eve's programming is what kickstarts the journey to the Axiom. WALL-E follows Eve onto her spaceship because he doesn't want to leave her side. The Axiom is the crown jewel of the B&L Starfleet. It left Earth around 2110 after the Earth was completely trashed. Fast forward 700 years later, the people aboard the Axiom are fat and lazy. Their bone structure has shrunken entirely, which begs the question, how do they survive impacts of such high velocity? The citizens of the Axiom are so engrossed in technology they don't even know that the ship has a pool or anything to offer other than cupcake in a cup. I think it's hilarious that the B&L Empire thinks things will magically get better without changing their ways. Humans trashed Earth past a point of habitability and did nothing to return but a half-hearted attempt at cleanup. When Operation Recolonize failed, B&L chose to keep everyone in space living the same lifestyle as before, sending out trash into space and polluting the final fun tier. It took 700 years and a little robot to change the minds of the captains and take the people back home, though life will never be the same. To be honest, Earth is so messed up, there really is no going back. Humans will either have to live inside the trash skyscrapers or dispose of them. Disposing of the trash isn't so easy, however. If it's launched into space, there's no telling where it will go except maybe the upper atmosphere and eventually crash down on Earth like a meteor. You can't incinerate it or throw it into a volcano because all those toxins will poison the air, so perhaps the best option would be to find a habitable planet and take care of it from day one. But that's not the point of the movie necessarily.
That's all anyone in this blasted ship has ever done. Nothing!
On the Axiom, you will survive.
I don't want to survive! I want to live!
After 700 years, humans have almost completely evolved, just backwards. They don't talk to each other and have little to no physical interaction with anything. They have their kids taught by robots and are extremely out of the loop despite having everything right in their faces. I think it's interesting that Wall-E, the robot who has been alone for hundreds of years, is the most human in this movie. On Earth, Wall-E had his own friends, a home, places he frequently stopped by, and even a job, all of which the humans never had on the Axiom. While the humans displayed no emotions, had no hardships, no jobs, or any real friends, Wall-E lived. The humans were surviving, sure, but there was no joy in their life. It took a little robot to show them how to live life to the fullest. Wall-E being himself has caused quite a commotion. Robots fighting back, humans falling in love, and Eve wanting to complete her mission are all very normal things, but as for any revolution, free thinking is the enemy to order. The steering wheel Otto and the chief of police Go 4 are not evil, but they are following orders to keep the humans safe by any means necessary. While he sacrifices himself for his new friends, he gets shocked, crushed, and nearly sent out an airlock just to get everyone back to Earth. After he's fixed up and rebooted, Wall-E has no personality, just another trash shuffler, until he's reminded of what he had become over the hundreds of years. His special moment with Eve brought it all back. After helping humanity find their humanity, Eve helped him find his. That sums up my thoughts on Wall-E. If you enjoyed today's video, I ask you drop a like and share with your fellow movie lovers. And if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it and see what you think. Your own opinion will always, sometimes, be more important than mine. Next week's video is going to be on Spy Kids, so subscribe so you don't miss out on that.
Mary? Ay, mangka?